So I hope you are great, and I wanted to show up here on Instagram Live. I wanted to actually walk you through 10 tactics that will keep you positive and optimistic and enthusiastic in these difficult times. So while I'm waiting for everyone to load in to this Instagram Live, I just want to see who we have here with us. And tell me where you're from, please. I'm just so interested in my readers and finding out how you're doing in this interesting time on the planet. And just tell me where you're from as well. Let's have a look. So Dave, Saber, you want to go live together? Or just send me a video request. I'd be really happy to chat with you. I see Nina. Hi, Nina. I see Sadishna. Let me look here. I see F. Valdesk from Chile, and I see Tini Dakolo from Nigeria. Chandanath from New Jersey. Linda from the sunny California coast. Okay, look, I'm going to get right into it here. And I want to make sure, if you're just joining me, I want to offer you 10 ways to stay positive in this uncertain time. The first tactic, so 10 tactics. First tactic, number one, is trust life. You know, we've been in plagues before. We have faced environmental crises before. We've faced economic challenges before. The human instinct for survival and to actually adapt so we become even more agile is unbelievably powerful. So yes, there's tremendous uncertainty. There's a lot of stress. Maybe you're facing a tremendous amount of stress. Please remember, this will end. And once we come out of this, whether it's the pandemic or the global lockdown or the associated economic challenges, we will have new skills. We will be stronger. Hopefully we will be more loving. Already, if you look at the apps coming out, the new businesses being launched as a result of this to deliver more value to people, there's a lot of innovation happening right now as well. So we are going to a better place. And I know it sounds philosophical, but tactic number one is trust life. You know, I do believe, call it possibility or fortune or the divinity or the force that runs the world knows what's best for us. So trust life. In many ways, the whole earth walk we are all on is a lesson in letting go. And it's a faith walk. And it's an opportunity for us to learn how to accept what life gives us and understand that even when it looks bad, it's always for the best. Number two, no surprise, but during this lockdown, or if you're not in a country that's still in lockdown, but this time of, let's call it COVID-19, it's really important to stay fit. I know it can be challenging to stay fit, but even if it's just doing planks on the floor, or if it's skipping, or if you can go for a walk, or if you can go for a run, if you can get on a treadmill. But I've been reading about the COVID-15 and the COVID-19 and now the COVID-30, and I'm in no way disrespecting what's happening with the virus, but the COVID-30 is basically a lot of people have gained 30 pounds in lockdown through all the carbs and all the sugary foods. And so what I'm suggesting to you as tactic number two to stay positive during this difficult time is fireproof your health. And, you know, if you say, well, I can't stay healthy because the gym is closed, well, then you are becoming a victim to your excuses. I still remember reading about Nelson Mandela on Robben Island, getting up and doing hundreds of push-ups and then running on the spot. So he stayed fit in prison. Tactic number three to stay positive during this challenging time is, please remember, I think it was Hippocrates who said it first, but food is medicine. Food is medicine. Your nutritional plan affects your moods. And so if you reach for more ice cream or reach for more pizza, I was reading today, a lot of the big pizza companies are looking for more employees because during COVID-19, so many people are eating more pizza. Pizza is flourishing. I think McDonald's is flourishing, and I'm not judging. As a matter of fact, there's been times during lockdown where I just need something that is pleasurable. And I was reading today, a lot of people are reaching for a lot of junk food because there's less pleasure in their lives. You know, they can't travel. They can't go to work and chat with their friends or meet their friends. They can't meet their friends. They can't meet some family members. And so because there is less pleasure available, a lot of human beings are seeking junk food for pleasure. And I'm not judging that. And, you know, I've reached for an extra chocolate croissant or two during these 6 months of lockdown. And that's okay. I think, you know, let's give ourselves permission to do what we need to do in order to feel that joy and get through this challenging time. Having said that, you don't want to be doing that every day. You don't want to be having a pizza every single day or junk food. And so tactic number 3 is use food as medicine. I'm not saying you should do this. What works well for me is on most weekdays I fast, sometimes to 6 o'clock, sometimes to 8 o'clock. And you probably know I'm working on a new book. I've been working on it since I was in Tribeca in February, and it's really powerful for me to be working on a book during this challenging time because it gives me a central focus of my life along with being with my family. The new book is giving me meaning during these days where I'm not on airplanes and traveling, giving leadership keynotes. So tactic number 3, food as medicine. I would say if you've never tried fasting, it's a great time to do it. If you don't hydrate a lot, make sure you stay hydrated. I'm a huge proponent of supplementation because as I understand it, our bodies cannot produce everything that it needs to be at optimal health. So I supplement a lot. I'm taking a lot of vitamin C right now, and I'm taking all these other supplements that are really very, very helpful to me. What else can I say about food? Obviously, less processed food, so much better for you. Lots of vegetables, obviously really great. And moderation, right? I believe I've been doing a lot of reading on caloric restriction and the ketogenic diet and just all the benefits of fasting, including, listen to this, fasting has been shown to release BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which optimizes the brain, which promotes neurogenesis, which promotes mental processing, which is really powerful right now when a lot of us are suffering from brain fog. Number 4, in terms of a tactic. By the way, is this helpful to you? I'm just curious. Am I giving you helpful tactics? Let me know with a thumbs up or... Okay, guys, great, wonderful. So the 4th tactic I want to offer to you is your ecosystem or your environment. You know, if you're in your apartment or if you're in your home and it's toxic and it's dark and it's negative and please don't wake up to the news, right? And please don't fill your life with, you know, following negative influencers and negative magazines and junk television or films and violent films, because your ecosystem really affects your creativity and your productivity. There's you can find this online. It's an article that I read that I love, and it's at Christie's, and it's about 10 artists. It's about 10 artists like Georgia O'Keeffe, who Frida, who basically got away from the world to do their best work. Especially, I love the story of Agnes Martin. And I wasn't really familiar with her. There's a picture of her right there. And Agnes Martin was a well-known artist, and she was living in New York. And then at the height of her fame, she just checked out. She just didn't like the fame. And she got in her pickup truck with her few belongings, and she didn't stop until she reached New Mexico. And she told her friend, who was a gallerist, an owner of a gallery, I'll never paint again. And for 7 years, she just sat in solitude. She had no phone. She had no television. She just looked out at the desert, and she just basked in the power that solitude brings. And that is one of the advantages. I mean, I've been doing exercises, in my journal. Here's my journal. And here's a great exercise for you to do, which is, what are the 10 rewards of lockdown? So you train your brain on the benefits of lockdown. And one of the benefits of lockdown is we're in this enforced quietude, this enforced isolation. And we can learn to love silence. We can learn to love isolation. And we can learn to love the quietude that's so different from the noisy world we inhabited in March of 2020. And, Agnes Martin, after 7 years, said, you know what, I want to paint again. And she did her best work. And when I look at the great creatives, when I look at J.D. Salinger, he only wrote one book, and it was called what? Catcher in the Rye. And he left the world, and he lived in seclusion for 60 years. But he still wrote he wrote for 7 hours every day, even though he didn't publish another book. And by the way, I've heard his son received instructions from J.D. Salinger before his death on all the books he wanted his son to publish based on all the writings his father was doing every day. He just didn't bring them to the world. So what I'm trying to say is, tactic number 4, make sure your environment is inspirational as possible. If you can get a little piece of art from a local artist, beautiful. You can get some flowers from your garden or from a garden, not your neighbor's garden, and put it on a table. Have as much light as possible, because your environment dramatically shapes your inspiration. Working on this new book, I'm doing whatever I can to stay so inspired, to fortify my environment against any negativity. I've been not against the news. I'm not against anything, but I've been evangelizing, no news whatsoever for about a quarter of a century. And I've realized maybe I was wrong, because I'm looking at the news right now, but it's very selectively. I'm very careful of my sources. But I've realized that when you look at the news, you can find out what's going on in the world. You can navigate the future by understanding the news, if it's good, if it's robust and well researched news. But here's the key: I don't think I'm not. You do what you want to do, but I'm not looking at the news every day, because I think it can be like a drug. I think it can be very addictive, and I think in many ways the job of the news is to frighten you. Because if it's good news, then you might not check it so much. So use the news as a tool, but not as a way to get scared. The 5th tactic I want to offer you to stay positive in lockdown is, this is a fantastic time to create your tour de force. It's a fantastic time to create the painting that will allow you to be known as a great master. It's a fantastic time for you to launch a new business, like especially an online business, if that brings you joy and you're excited about it. Never do a business for the money. I don't think any great business or any great masterwork has ever been done for money. You want to do it because you're excited about it, and because it brings you a sense of meaning, and it'll help the planet and the brothers and sisters on the planet. But tactic number 5 is, start your tour de force. A lot of people want to write a book. Start writing your book right now. Start it. A lot of people want to write a screenplay. Start your screenplay. A lot of people want to create an app. Create your app. A lot of people want to start a blog. Start your blog. This is a fantastic time. If you're working for an organization, start a project that will allow you to dominate your domain and upgrade your impact within the organization. Tactic number 6 in this little Instagram live jam for you is meditation. So I meditate for about an hour every single day, and I love meditation. keeps me very calm. One of the metrics of longevity are telomeres. And so you can Google telomeres if you're not familiar with them. But as I understand it, one of the ways to biohack and one of the ways to extend your longevity is to lengthen your telomeres. Because as we age as human beings, what happens is the edges or the ends of the telomeres fray like the ends of shoelaces. And so you want to figure out how you can lengthen your telomeres and prevent them from degrading. And meditation has been shown to lengthen your telomeres, which to me means meditation lengthens your life. But it also creates this it connects you. You know, a lot of the new book is about leaving your egoic self and stepping into your heroic self, which is your truest self that we have committed treason against as we've fallen in love with the world versus with our truest selves. And anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. But when we're little kids, we know who we are. And then we go out in the world and we get brainwashed and heart-washed and programmed to become figments of who we truly are. And I think we've committed treason, high treason, against our best selves. And so meditation is a technique I use to remember who I truly am. And it shuts down my egoic self, and it really upgrades the intimacy with my heroic self. And I'm no one special, for sure. We all have a heroic self, and the reason I'm here on this Instagram Live is to help you remember your heroic self. So tactic number 6 is meditation. If you don't do it, there's a ton of great apps out there. There's a podcast I love. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's called Meditation Oasis. Really wonderful. I've done a bunch of meditations myself. If you're interested, they're in a mentoring program I do every month digitally called the Circle of Legends. And if you want to join the Circle of Legends, you can just go to thecircleoflegends.com and the information is there. But the point I'm really trying to make for you is meditation is powerful. And if you're not a meditator, definitely do it. Tactic number 7. I've been talking about this again for a quarter of a century. I wrote about it in a book I wrote 22 years ago called Who Will Cry When You Die? The chapter was called Keep a Journal. Here's my journal. These are just some of the deconstructions I do in my journal. This is what my journal looks like. But in, journaling, if you are, the more I connect with my readers, which I adore doing, I know a lot of people are discouraged. And writing in a journal every day, even about, what you're grateful for, or I know that sounds very simple, but even writing about the person you want to become through lockdown, even writing about the life you want to see 24 months from now, the world you want to see, it will help you leave any current negativity and protect and battle-proof your hope. Please don't think that I wake up every morning and every single morning I'm full of hope and full of positivity. I work very, very hard on my mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. The 4 interior empires that really allow you to become your strongest self. If you don't know the 4 interior empires, I teach them in the 5 a.m. club. And so you can read it in that book or listen to it in the audio book. But let me just simply say, mindset is only 25% of you being your strongest self. Mindset is your psychology, but as human beings, we also have our emotionality, our physicality, and our spirituality. So we have our mindset, and then this term I'm introducing, your heart set, then your health set, and then your soul set, which is your spiritual life. I mean, in many ways, if you really want to get traction in the world and build a great company and build a great reputation and be uber productive, so many people say, well, it's, your morning routine, which of course I teach, and your daily habits, and of course I teach those. But if you don't have a strong soul set If you're not on fire for a mission that's bigger than yourself, then when you face some tragedy or difficulty, you will wave the white towel of surrender versus saying, you know what? I don't care if I die. I'm on a mission to serve the world. And that's why your soul set's so important. Tactic number 8 is human connections. You know, as much as possible, if you can't do it, I mean, a lot of us are with our family right now, but we're not with our extended family and our friends. I haven't seen my friends for a long time, but do a Zoom call or do a Skype call, or just do FaceTime or whatever. But remember, when you have human connections, you just, it releases oxytocin in the brain and serotonin. And as human beings, we are tribal. We are meant to connect. So, and related to that is my final tactic. Do something to help another human being. I know that sounds very simple, but it's the simple truths that are most profound, aren't they? And what I've found is the more helpful I am, the more people I try to help, the more kindness I can show. And I know it's the same for you, but it just makes us feel better. I find it interesting that, you do something good for someone else, even if it's you pick up some groceries for an elderly neighbor, or you write a thank you letter or thank you email to someone who's helped you, or you, behind a mask, you smile at a stranger on the street, or you just wave to someone, or you just do something nice for someone. It makes you feel better. So being kind is powerful. Even online, be kind to people. It's very easy online. If and I say this with a lot of respect, but if you're angry because you're frustrated about being in lockdown, or if you're angry because you don't like the state of the world, or if you're angry because you've lost your job or you're facing some kind of a challenge, please be very vigilant not to take it out on other people. Don't take it out on family members. Don't take it out on people maybe you follow online, or celebrities, or whoever it is. Don't take it out on the streets through road rage or aggressive traffic. I mean, this is what separates a victim from a hero. You have the self-awareness to say, because you're doing the work, you have the self-awareness to say, it's my stress born of fear, and I will not take it out on someone else. Because if you take it out on someone else and blame them and say, oh, you're bad or you're unjust or whatever, then you're actually propagating the injustice or the hatred or the lack of love in the world. And I just want to emphasize that. You're either an instrument of love or a tool of hatred. I don't think you can be both. And so if you are condemning another person, no matter who it is, you're actually making the world darker, and you're actually degrading the world versus lifting the world up. And so as much as possible, none of us are perfect, I know that, but as much as possible, I think, we must love one another. It's tactic number 10. Be loving, be forgiving, be encouraging. And that to me is the doorway into greatness. Okay, let me see. I see Vincent from Firenze. Vincent, how are you? My new friend from Italy. And I see Alexandra. I don't know where you're from. I'm not familiar with that flag. I see Energy Who. Thanks, Robin, for your inspirational books. You're very welcome. The Flower Girl's Kitchen. Consider zinc and vitamin C. I do zinc, and I have it with the copper edition, so there's the balance. So I am supplementing with zinc as well. I also do ashwagandha. Maybe one day I'll take you through my biohacking protocols and my supplementation protocols and how I fast. Tanya Annabella, nice to see you as well. Namaste back to you. Linda, Mr. Gratitude 195. I love, my brother, I love your handle. Namaste back to you. Tell me where you're from as well. If you have some questions, I'm very happy to answer them. Orozco, nice to see you. Very useful. Number one, Alinu says, very useful, great. Nod for health. What is tactic number one? Trust life. Trust life. Nature has seasons. I'm a huge fan of nature. And so nature knows what she's doing. So let's sort of go metaphysical, which is not spiritual, metaphysical. Meta just means above. Meta, above physical. And if you just go metaphysical and sort of philosophically look at nature, nature has seasons. There's violent storms and there's sunny days. And it's all a necessary part for survival. Someone said, let's see, how to deal with, okay, I don't, some reprogram future news tries to feed us garbage. You know, I don't know if you're suggesting, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I think there's high quality news and not so high quality news. And I just look for news that is well researched, it's well presented, and it's thoughtful. Please save this session. Yes, I will definitely save the session. Hi from South Africa, David, great. Love from Gujarat. Wonderful to see you. Yes, tactic 3 was use food as medicine. I hope it's Kalinina. I'm so sorry, but beautiful energy and live session. Thank you very much. Yes, Unia, I will save it. Elena from Ukraine, absolutely. Luke, good to see you, Luke. All right, Rodrigo from Portugal. Obrigado, thank you so much. All right, guys, look, I hope this was helpful, and stay healthy, stay safe, stay optimistic, stay kind. Love you very much. Bye.